Most of us have been there, talking to someone we like, hoping things click, and yet somehow, they don't. Sometimes, it's not about looks, money, or even charm. The connection just fades. And if you're wondering why, the answer is often simpler and harsher than we expect. Women notice things, small things, subtle patterns. Certain behaviors, repeated over time, can quietly chip away at attraction. They might not even call it out, but inside, it affects how they feel. Here are the 7 mistakes that make women lose interest fast. Not guesses, observed patterns. Things you can fix today if you recognize them. Mistake 1. Talking too much about yourself. Have you ever met someone who only talks about themselves, their achievements, their hobbies, their opinions, all the time? It feels exhausting. Women pick up on it immediately. A conversation isn't a monologue, it's a connection. If you dominate every interaction, the other person feels invisible. That feeling of being invisible is uncomfortable, and it kills attraction. The most engaging men don't just talk, they listen, they ask questions, they notice reactions. Even small gestures, like pausing and letting her speak, signal that you care about more than just yourself. It's not about bragging less, it's about creating space for connection. Mistake 2. Being inconsistent. Nothing destroys interest faster than unpredictability. Not the fun kind, but the unreliable kind. Canceling plans at the last minute, replying late without explanation, or acting distant one day and overly warm the next. It sends a subtle message. You're not stable. Stability isn't boring, it's reassuring. Women often describe the men they enjoy being around as predictable in a good way. They know what to expect. They don't have to guess whether they can rely on you. I've noticed this personally. A friend who was brilliant and funny lost a connection simply because he constantly vanished and reappeared. It wasn't that she didn't like him, she just couldn't trust where she stood. Small, consistent actions build interest. Chaos erodes it. Mistake 3. Over-complimenting or flattery. Compliments are tricky. A generic "you look nice" might feel good for a moment, but too much flattery starts to feel hollow. Women can sense when compliments aren't genuine. The real mistake is relying on words alone instead of meaningful attention. Women remember actions, observations, and authenticity. For example, noticing something unique, like how she explains an idea or the effort she put into something, sticks. It's not about holding back praise, it's about making it real and specific. Authentic compliments feel rare, and rare moments create lasting impressions. Mistake 4. Acting desperate for attention. Desperation kills interest faster than almost anything else. Texting constantly, needing reassurance, or fishing for approval sends a loud signal. You lack confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance. It isn't being the loudest or the most dominant. It's quiet. It's calm. It's being comfortable with your own presence. I've seen it in interactions everywhere. A man who panics over missed texts comes across as insecure, no matter how charming he seems in person. Meanwhile, someone who stays cool, shows interest without overdoing it, and respects her space creates attraction effortlessly. The subtle rule: interest is magnetic when it isn't needy. Mistake 5. Ignoring emotional cues. Women notice emotional cues more than we often realize. They feel when you're distracted, dismissive, or emotionally unavailable. A joke that falls flat, a distracted glance at your phone, a sudden change in tone. All of these communicate more than words ever could. Emotional awareness is simple, but often overlooked. Notice how she reacts. Listen to her stories. Mirror energy subtly. Respond in ways that show you're present. Small gestures make a huge difference. Holding eye contact, nodding thoughtfully, or simply pausing before answering demonstrates engagement. When women feel understood, interest grows. When they feel ignored, it disappears. Mistake 6. Being too predictable or boring. Routine is comfortable, but monotony is deadly in attraction. Making the same jokes or always following the same patterns creates a sense of stagnation. Women are drawn to novelty, not chaos, but moments following the same alive, spontaneous, or unexpected. A witty observation, a shared adventure, a slightly unusual opinion. These are small sparks that keep attraction alive. I remember meeting a guy who was technically a great listener, kind and respectful, but every conversation followed the same formula. She enjoyed his company at first, but her interest waned because there was no spark, no unpredictable energy. Attraction thrives on balance, comfort plus surprise. Too much predictability, and it dies quietly. Mistake 7. Failing to make her feel valued. Finally, the biggest mistake is failing to leave her feeling valued. Every interaction, every conversation, every gesture carries weight. Women remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. It's not about grand gestures or expensive gifts. It's about attention, warmth, and respect. Making someone feel noticed, appreciated, and safe in your presence is incredibly powerful. I once observed a friend who effortlessly held interest with women, not because he was flashy, but because every interaction left people feeling lighter, happier, and genuinely seen. That's magnetic. That's rare. That's what makes someone memorable. The opposite, rushing, dismissing feelings, or taking attention for granted, erodes connection faster than anything else. Final truth. Here's the hard truth. Women don't fall out of interest because of one big mistake. They fall out of interest because of repeated small patterns. Talking too much about yourself, being inconsistent, over-flattering, acting desperate, ignoring emotional cues, being boring, failing to make her feel valued. All of these add up, and if unchecked, they quietly destroy attraction. The good news? These mistakes are fixable. Awareness is the first step. Listening more than talking, being consistent, showing genuine interest, and making someone feel valued will completely shift how women experience you. Interest isn't built by charm alone. It's built by behaviors, habits, and emotional awareness. Small adjustments can make a dramatic difference. Start today. Observe your patterns. Notice where you might be slipping. Practice presence, attentiveness, and emotional awareness like you'd practice any other skill. The difference shows up quickly. People notice. Energy changes. Conversations become smoother. Interactions feel effortless. Attraction isn't a trick. It's a reflection of how someone makes others feel. Avoid these 7 mistakes. Practice presence, consistency, authenticity, and attentiveness. And don't be surprised when women respond differently. When you shift your behavior, you shift the energy around you. Subscribe. More insights like this coming every week.